Good afternoon. So on my walk, my mindfulness walk, where I breathe, try not to think, and if I do think, I try to keep my thoughts in union. And while listening to A Course in Love, I thought of that Beatles song, I am he as he is me, and we are all together on this earth ship traveling through the universe. And who's to say the things we come across or that pass us by isn't us passing them by? Could comets just be stationary? That cigar-shaped asteroid, what if that was a planet? Anyhow, I guess I wasn't too successful clearing my mind because I went off on this tangent. But the idea was, if we are all one, if the energy filaments that run through me and make up me also run through you and make up you, these energy filaments connect everything. Nothing too small, nothing too big. We're all connected. So when you see this, I talked about see in my last video, you can perform miracles. Because it's like the Matrix, right? You can see everything. Like Neo at the end, how he saw all the code. I think that's what they meant in that, is he was able to see energy. And I guess if you want to relate that scene as code, because it could kind of look like that. It's energy, it glows and pulsates, and it's like it's alive and moving. So the thing is your ego takes over at this point, and it's like, oh my God, what I could do with all that power, and it gets all excited, and then you lose focus on the fact that if we are all connected like that, you no longer have self-importance, is what Don Juan says, Carlos Castaneda. You lose self-importance. That's why it's one of his teachings, is to try to go about this scene from a back door and starting with losing self-importance. Kind of helps free up your energy. So when we're in union, we are the same person. How can you be more important than yourself? We are ourselves. This is part 2 of the video I started earlier today. And we were talking about self-importance. And how the ego could get very excited about seeing energy. So the second part I wanted to talk about erasing personal history, which is another concept from Carlos Castaneda's books that Don Juan talks about. In order to understand this, you must understand that the only true emotion is love. All else is a construct of the ego and based in fear. So let me repeat that again. All other emotions, which we'll talk about in a second, are based in fear. Then you're probably going to ask, well, what about happiness and joy and all that? Well, those are just different words for love. Anything that opens your heart, that is love. And we can feel it also as happiness and joy. It's just different words to the same thing. Same with most other emotions are just a different way of our body reacting to fear. So when you have these other fear-based emotions, your body reacts with energy, just as with love. When you're acting through or with love, that is a way of directing energy that actually comes out of you and touches everything around you, which can sometimes also happen with fear-based emotions. But mostly, they work on you and your personal energy. So all memory or personal history is a configuration of trapped energy in your body. So whenever you have feelings of envy or greed, lust, resentment, hate, disgust, judgment, I mean, I can go on and on and on. Pride, even. It's one of those ones that kind of sneak in there. It feels kind of good, but it still comes from the ego, and it's still based in fear. It's probably the ego wanting to be better than others. Maybe a good way of putting this is any feeling that separates you from the world around you is based in fear and comes from the ego. Any emotion that joins you with God or with love, that's true emotion. Not what I like to think of as an energy trapping. So all these untrue emotions, they keep your energy trapped in a certain configuration within your body. And I'm sure you've heard of others talk about triggering. That's a psychological term used a lot these days. So whenever you're triggered, what happens is a certain emotion is like relit, or it feels the same within your body, and so it helps strengthen that trapped energy within you. So this energy stagnates within your body and causes sickness, both mentally and physically. And I will give you a way to help with that on a daily basis in just a second. I wanted to go back to the idea of the true emotion of love. These emotions, love, joy, happiness, peace, like I said, they're all really the same emotion, which is love, the true emotion. These feelings, these true emotions, they free your energy. You feel lighter because of them. Oftentimes people with near-death experiences, or if you sometimes dream of death and come to a point where you actually die, but you accept your death within your dreams, you're filled with this sense of peace. Once you accept this death, I say death because it's not true death, it frees you. You just feel a weight taken off of your shoulders. You feel connected with everything and everyone, and that sense of peace and freedom. You feel light as a feather. It's an unbelievable feeling. So that's what true emotions do. They free your energy. They allow it to flow freely and touch others around you. That's why I say it's more of a directional feeling versus untrue emotions that come from the ego or the intellect. They stagnate your energy. They feel heavy and they weigh on you. They can make you feel like just sick even in the moment. They can, if you're really upset or angry or something, you can feel that inside of you. Sometimes it's so bad it makes you feel sick to your stomach, makes your heart pound, makes you sweat, you get hot. You know, it's a very not very pleasant. So how do you deal with this? You can deal with this on a moment-to-moment basis by recognizing that you're not having a true emotion, that you are resisting, I guess, or putting up what like Eckhart Tolle talks about resistance. So that's kind of what it feels like when you have an untrue emotion is, you know, that stress that you feel. So you can either let, when you feel that starting to happen within your body, this untrue emotion, you can try at the moment to just let it go, to just let it pass through you. You can tell yourself, well, this too shall pass, and just let it wash over you. And if you can't, because it's not, well, Last time I said it's not easy, and it can be easy. We're all different. But if you don't, let's just put it that way. If you do engage and you do feel those emotions and you do get angry or you do have resentment or judgment or any of those untrue emotions, at the end of the day, a good thing to do as you're falling asleep is just work through your day. Start at the very beginning, and every time you can remember having one of those untrue emotions, put yourself right there in that situation again and allow yourself to redo the situation where you would have acted differently, where you would have not let those emotions affect you, right? You would have let that anger or that resentment just pass you by, just like a train or a car. Shoo. Just let it go. A Toltec practice is called recapitulation, or recouping is what I like to say, your energy from that situation. So finding that emotion, that pent up energy, that stress, or that memory. I do air quotes a lot, I know, because it's just a label. Everything's just a label. So find that and put yourself right back in that situation and just breathe through it. Take it, feel it, breathe it in, find it, grab it, and then let it go. Do that as many times as you need to until you feel like you've completely let that memory go. That piece of personal history you created that keeps you trapped in this energy configuration, keeps your energy trapped in that alignment. And if you do that every night, you'll get so good at it that eventually, when you're come face to face in real time, in the now, in a situation like that, you can just take that emotion coming from, usually it's another person or situation, or a perceived situation, because a lot of times it's all our own stories in our head. Take the situation, take that emotion, but don't take it in. Just look at it. Be like, wow, that's what that is. I'm gonna let that go. I don't need that. It doesn't even need to touch me. Just let it pass by. So that nightly practice will help you so that eventually you won't even be building that personal history anymore. And you'll have nothing to recapitulate at the end of the night or at the end of the day. If you work at nights, I guess it'd be in the morning. Anyhow, I love you all. We are in a new era, and there is hope. The world is changing.